Even when I've left, I do right by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky. I go to war, I'll fight. Damn right. Even when I've left, I do right by you. I'll be your everything.
Okay, we're back. Welcome to the Professional Stepdad Show. I am your host, Franco Zavala. Thank you for joining me. This is episode 60, another milestone episode. The objective by the end of the year is to get to 100 episodes. Just found out that we have 116 subscribers on YouTube. Just finished making the Spotify account. So I'm going to put all that up kind of everywhere throughout the episode. You'll see, from the TikTok to the Instagram to Spotify and SoundCloud, iTunes, etc. So again, if you are a subscriber, I really appreciate and value the fact that you even took the time to take a look at my show. For those of you who don't know, this show is designed and geared towards helping stepdads through their journey and helping them develop new ways, habits, routines, giving them some ideas, kind of just some feedback on my journey and other stepdads' journeys, so that the battle that you will inevitably face won't be so tough. You won't feel so alone. Another thing is it's important to remember that you are valued, that you are needed, you're there for a reason, even though many of us, if not all of us at one point or another, will go through a point where we don't feel like we are valued or needed or wanted. We feel alone, we feel like giving up. And I want you to know that if you just continue to progress forward, you can win. This can be such a positive experience for you. And more important, it can be a positive experience for the children, for your partner, for people around you. Episode 60 today is going to be focused on a discussion that I had where we talk about how to handle the negative comments, feedback, people in your life and spin them into a positive way, to like a positive building block to kind of lift you up and over the stupidity that will come and the negative people that are probably already there. I'm reading this book right now. It's going to be reversed, right? So it's called The Obstacles. The Obstacle is the Way, The Ancient Art of Turning Adversity into Advantage by Ryan Holiday. This is a great book. I highly recommend this because it really does help you understand why obstacles, negative people, circumstances, situations are a positive thing. If you can properly parlay that negative into the positive so that it can move you forward, through your stepdad journey. So the reason I'm saying all this, the reason I want to talk to you about this is because for me, like every other stepdad, there are going to be people that don't believe you should be there, that don't believe in you, period. They don't think that you should be a stepdad or a father, let alone to somebody else's children. They don't think you're qualified enough. Maybe you have a shady past. Maybe they're holding you accountable for your shady past, assuming that that's who you are going to be now. And for me, what I did is I fought against it. I argued it. I defended myself. I shut people out. I made enemies. And it ended up just being such a waste of time, because at the end of the day, what I learned was when all that negativity was coming my way and when I would fight back against it and I would just supply that negativity with more fuel, that I felt like I was losing, and I'm sure that they felt like they were winning. Meaning like whatever they were doing, whatever they were saying was getting to me to a point where I reacted in a way of aggression and like trying to protect myself. For some strange reason, and I don't know, maybe stepdads, maybe you do the same thing. For for some strange reason, I felt like I needed to justify my past in order to, what's the word I'm looking for? I had to justify my past so that they could see past who I was and to see who I am now. But isn't it funny how people that don't change or have never worked on themselves or have never actually taken the time to better themselves, they will hold on to who you were. They will hold on to the things that you did or you didn't do, and then they will hold that against you, or they will spread that rumor or talk to people about what you used to do behind your back to try to create some sort of a tension between you and your family. Look, at the end of the day, here's the most important thing to remember. Stepdads. It doesn't matter what happens outside the house. It doesn't matter about the negative bio parent. It doesn't matter about the negative relative. The only thing that will ever matter is what happens within the four walls of your home. And understanding that concept will help you identify all the stupidity that will try to make its way in so that you can avoid it. And look, I am no saint by any means. I've done my fair share of stupid stuff in my life. And if you were to judge me based on who I was growing up or who I was in my 20s, right, or my late 20s, then you could properly come to a conclusion that I am not fit or was not fit to be a parent, because I wasn't. I was selfish. I was arrogant. I was misogynistic. I did not care about anybody's opinion and values, and all I wanted to do was make money. And that's where my focus was. And so I didn't care who I hurt or who I had to step on to get there. And it's funny how when you become a stepdad, how the children humble you. They humble you because, okay, I'm not a bio parent, so I don't know the feeling of going into the delivery room to see your baby born, to see your baby smile for the first time, to take their first breath. I don't know that feeling. I see it in movies, I hear it in stories, but I've actually never experienced it. So for a dad who is in the delivery room, who does see his child born, I can see how in that moment they make that decision, like, everything I have, everything I ever will be is now yours. And they look at you like they are going to protect you and raise you the best way they can. And they make promises to themselves, like, I won't raise you like my dad raised me. I won't talk to you the way my mother talked to me. I won't put you in situations that my other families put me in. You make these bargains and these negotiations with yourself in the moment within the delivery room, whether it's out loud or internal. So I never got to experience that. So my selfishness as a single man 100% carried over into my relationship with my wife and the developing relationships with my kids. It was a very hard thing for me to do, to give up my freedom, to put myself in a situation where the focus is no longer on me, it's on you. And because of that, I could see how in the beginning somebody could determine that I didn't, and maybe it didn't look like I wanted to be there. Maybe I was talking like a jerk, or I was being an asshole, or I don't know. I mean, it was a long time ago. What I do know is this. What I do know is that there was a moment for me as a stepdad, and it happens, where I accepted my role and I wanted to be there, and I turned that page in my life, and I accepted responsibility, and I accepted, instead of being selfish, I wanted to step into a new role of just giving everything that I had, my time, my energy, my effort, and my love to the kids and my wife, because I wanted to be the very best man that I could be. I mean, I can't have kids. I'm not able to have kids on my own because of an accident I had in the military. And it killed me, but I did make that transition. I did turn that page. And so it is possible. But the reason I'm bringing that up, obviously, is because in the beginning of any relationship, you are going to have those individuals who are going to be with in your circle of influence, whether they be your own parents, your own siblings, your family or their family or friends and neighbors, who will do everything they can to poke holes in your business plan, if you want to call it that. They want to poke holes in your reasons to be there, because they feel like they're protecting the kids. They feel like they're protecting the mom or the dad. They feel like what they're doing is justified because of, and then you fill in the blank on however, whatever story that you go through with as a stepdad. But what they're doing, and why so many stepdads leave, what they are doing is they are building walls and imaginary barriers around the family that this stepdad's trying to get close to. So sometimes it's hard, right? Because we have this desire and this want and this need to be the very best man, leader, and mentor that we can be. But then the family members and the friends and all these morons put up these imaginary borders, and they give you scenarios, or they put you in situations where you have to choose, and then you make you second guess yourself, and then you start to second guess why you were there in the first place. And the funny thing is here's the crazy thing. When it happened to me, the funny thing is that all happened without the knowledge of my wife. That was all happening without my wife even knowing that they were texting me, emailing me, calling me, meeting me, showing up places. So the negative people will come. They will come in waves. Crazy thing is they will come as friends. My best friend in the world, who no longer is my friend because I chose, but my best friend in the world made me think that what I was doing was not worthy and I should get out of it as fast as I could. And he made me feel bad for being here. And him being my best friend, obviously he had a certain level of influence on me. But when I was able to see past what he was doing, was he was being selfish for himself. He didn't want to give me up. Just like my own mother didn't want to give me up to my wife. They were being selfish and they were trying to influence my decisions, and it was a wrong move. And that in itself is a negative, what do you call it? It's a negative way of handling any situation. It's poison. It can be poison to the stepdad who is just wanting to be there, but everybody is trying to give him reasons to leave. The problem too is that because there are so many men out there who are unwilling to talk, unwilling to get help, unwilling to talk about their problems and their pains and their worries and their woes. There are so many men who are so proud to just, that they can do everything on their own and they don't need anybody's help. There are so many men like that when you get thrown into the wolves, when you get thrown to the wolves and all that negative talk and everything starts to come at you, you stop. You can justify why it's okay to leave. You can make a decision to bail without even thinking twice about it because you've never actually worked on yourself. So you're okay to be influenced by other people. And you have to kind of, you have to move past that, right? So the negatives teach. The negatives and the negative people and the negative situations and the negative scenarios and everything people are saying about you, stepdad, they teach that. Let that negativity teach you on how not to be. Look, bottom line is this: if they are taking their time to come after you, if they are taking their time to talk bad about you and to try to bring you down, then you must be doing something right. You must be doing something right. Work on your mind so you don't allow that negativity to come through the walls of your home and then to poison your brain and in the way you think. Work on yourself. But negativity teaches. It's a great learning tool. It helps you grow. It teaches you how not to do things, how you don't want to. Because here's the crazy thing: you don't know whether or not your children that you're raising will someday be a step parent. You have no idea. So what you want to do is you're trying to set the best example possible. And you cannot set that example if you are constantly being influenced by the outside negativity of other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions because they're insecure with themselves. Look, there are a lot of parents who look down on step parents because they're a shitty parent. They did shitty stuff. They took it for granted. They didn't put in the time that they should have been. They're the bio parent, for God's sakes. They didn't put in the time that they should be doing to get to know their children. Some step parents know their kids better than their bio parents do because they've taken the time to get to know them. They've taken the time to connect with them and to communicate with them properly. So some, not all, but some bio parents feel so horrible about themselves that they are going to take it out on you at every turn. Your job is to move. Don't let that negativity consume you to where you walk away or to where you take it out on others who don't deserve it. And I'm only saying this to you, stepdads, because this is everything that I did. I took it out on people. I fought against it. I was aggressive. I threatened. I allowed this machismo part of me to be like, nobody's going to talk to me like that type of stuff. It wasn't until I humbled myself, until I realized that I needed help. It wasn't until I was able to ask for help. But more importantly, it wasn't until I was able to communicate with my wife properly so where we can go seek out help and counseling so we can get on the same page as a team that everything started to change for me. Nobody wanted me here. I don't care what they say, including my own parents. Nobody wanted me here. Nobody. But it doesn't matter what they want. It only mattered what I wanted, and I knew where I wanted to be. So let that negativity teach you. Use negativity use the negative situations that are happening in your life as stepping stones towards becoming an unstoppable force, an unstoppable step parent, an unstoppable parent who just loves and empathizes and sympathizes and is okay to cry and protects and values and understands. But more important, someone who develops a mental mindset to where they can block out the stupidity because there's nothing you can do about it. Stop trying to fight against it. Just move out of the way. Don't let it in. So like I said, The Obstacle is the Way. It's a great book. I would highly recommend that you read it. Episode 60. Again, if you have not, please like, subscribe, share, follow on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram. Ladies and gentlemen, my objective is to reach a platform so that I might change the narrative around what it means to be a step parent altogether. I believe, I know that if done correctly, that we can change the landscape around step parenting altogether to where it's more like accepted and it's more valued. Hell, it's more needed and wanted as opposed to portrayed as some evil entity when it's not. It's just not. So anyway, episode 60. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will talk to you soon.
Your blue sky, I go to war, I'll fight. Damn right. Even when I've left, I do right by you. I'll be your everything. Your blue
Quiet on the set, please. Thank you, everybody.